Good evening, everybody. This is Michael Jason Chandler with the Arkan's Hearth. Just wanted to reach out and apologize to everyone. We had intended to have Jack the Ripper Part 4 come out tonight, but unfortunately, we've had some technical difficulties, and that's not gonna happen. It will come out next week, and we will have the normal episode out. I apologize for the mix-up, folks.
The desert remembers. Long after the footprints vanish in the wind, after the sun-bleached horses crumble, after names fade, after gravestones, the desert remembers. The Southwest is where stories refuse to die. Before highways or railroads, ancient trails crossed the harsh land. Indigenous people, Spanish explorers, missionaries, soldiers, prospectors, ranchers, and outlaws, all left their stories behind, woven into the land itself. From Southern California to the heart of the Southwest, these deserts share deep spiritual roots. Spanish missions followed ancient trade routes. Catholic traditions, Mexican folklore traveled the same paths. Names changed, but the stories endured. Across New Mexico, Arizona, California, stories echo, voices of empty canyons, figures vanishing beside lonely roads, haunted hotels, churches calling for help, deserts so vast even travelers feel watched. Tonight we will travel some of those forgotten roads, symbolically of course, because we're still in the studio. We'll walk through the centuries of history, tragedy, and belief. Tonight we follow the other Devil's Highway. So this is the Arkan's Hearth, brought to you by Not Dead Yet Productions. My name is Michael Jason Chandler. Happy to be with you as always. Tonight, I am here with my co-hosts, starting to my left.
Doran Wolf, owner of Arkan's Juice Tavern, Arkan's Hearth Gaming, and our forever sponsor. I'm sorry, Mrs. Chandler, but Jason forgot the WD-40. And to my left...
I can't talk when Jason's looking at me because he's really scary, and actually, you must be the wrong person because in my script right here, it actually says Michael Jason Chandler.
Okay, when you write a script, you can criticize my writing. Biatch.
So that was the Pixie.
I said Pixie, didn't I?
No, you did not.
Pixie. The ginger. I'm scared to say anything after that. I learned how to use a fryer this week against my will.
Cheers. Nice. Now when the fryer's down, you can take over.
No.
That's why they did it. Well, folks, once again, and as promised, we're having a second episode with a wonderful special guest. The talented, amazing Tacet.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. That was a really great intro. I'm already scared. Like, it's really quiet in this room, so I feel kind of fucking scared.
You know what? This place is rarely haunted.
Okay, cool.
But before we get started, I am going to present a gift to Tacet. A thank you from here at the podcast for him joining us in these episodes. We really appreciate him, and I wanted to get him something as a measure of our thanks.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. This is really cool. Before I open it, though, happy birthday, Jason.
Happy birthday, Jason!
It's my birthday, and I'm handing him a gift.
I've never seen anyone give somebody a gift on their birthday. That's really cool, and that really shows your character. Thank you so much. This is really cool wrapping paper.
Now destroy it!
I'm actually kind of going to take care of it.
Okay.
Oh, wow. This is badass. Dude, what the hell? No way! What's crazy is we were doing interior decorating at the house all day. And then there's a spot in my studio where I was like, I'm gonna save this for something. I feel like there's gonna be something that I can put up here. They just gave me a 2001 Godzilla Final Wars. Fucking, this is badass. This is crazy material. This is like a plaque. Wow, I'm blown away. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
I really appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Hell yeah. Well, It's a pleasure, and I appreciate you guys, having me on your platform. This is fucking wow.
Well, you said that Godzilla was almost like a symbol for you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to continue. Maybe we'll take a picture with it later and we can put it up here in the tavern.
Yeah, fuck yeah, hell yeah, please.
All right. So shall we get into the episode, everyone?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Oh, wait, so the paper goes away.
The paper's a paid actor.
Yeah. The Rio Grande slips quietly through Albuquerque's South Valley, past cottonwoods that scrape the windows on restless nights. The river always carries stories. Families here speak of unexplained encounters and calamity as easily as they discuss the weather. Spend enough time in the villages and towns along the Rio Grande, and someone will eventually lower their voice and tell you a story. Not out of fear, but respect. These aren't tall tales for crowded rooms. They're whispered on porches late at night, or in kitchens after everyone's asleep, or on lonely roads where the headlights barely hold back the dark. The stories begin with hesitation. I probably shouldn't tell you this. My grandmother swore it happened just this way. A priest never talked about it afterward. Belief almost doesn't even matter in these sorts of stories, because telling these stories keeps something alive that refuses to disappear. Across the Southwest, the details shift, but the stories are familiar. In Las Cruces, a family hears knocking at an empty house after a funeral. In northern Arizona, a father avoids a stretch of desert after dark. In Southern California, families whisper about homes plagued by uneasy dreams. Just across the border, tragedy leaves its mark with every generation. Different places, one haunted landscape. Someone always knows someone who has a story. A grandmother who insisted that something followed her home after visiting an abandoned cemetery. A cousin who suddenly began behaving in a way that no one could explain. An elderly priest who answered a desperate phone call in the middle of the night and never discussed where he'd gone before sunrise. Most of these stories stay with families, rarely becoming headlines or investigations. They become family history, repeated with small changes over time. Some call them misunderstandings, born from grief or coincidence. Others accept them as reminders that not everything fits within ordinary explanation. They endure because they speak to a universe of fears, that something unseen can change a life, that a home can become strange, that the world is stranger or perhaps more magical than we admit. The Catholic Church approaches these claims with caution. Films show exorcisms as dramatic battles, but reality is quieter. Before any rite, doctors and specialists are consulted. Most reports never go beyond a conversation with the clergy or a referral. The Church's experience says extraordinary claims demand extraordinary scrutiny. Yet, requests continue. Across the Southwest, priests quietly receive calls from frightened families. Some describe loved ones changing overnight. Others speak of homes that suddenly feel unsafe. Many just want someone, doctor, priest, or a therapist, to reassure them they're not alone with the unknown. Whether answers come from medicine, faith, or time, the fear is real. But sometimes stories don't disappear. In the summer of 1974, Doris Bither, a single mother in a crumbling Culver City home, claimed something unseen had invaded her life. She described violent attacks by an invisible presence. Her pleas soon drew attention from UCLA's parapsychology researchers. Investigators Barry Taff and Carrie Gaynor spent weeks documenting cold spots, objects moving on their own, and eerie lights. Skeptics offered conventional explanations, but others saw it as one of the Southwest's more chilling cases.
So, over the years, we've all seen the shows on, like, MTV or Fox, where, like, there's these...
A&E, man.
A&E, yeah, no, absolutely. They have the Ghost Hunters. Bravo. No, the Ghost Hunters.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Where they're checking...
Where Zach Baggins, if there really were ghosts in these places, they would kill him just to shut him up.
Dude, for real. That guy was annoying. But, like... You always see, like, the spike of, like, electromagnetic energies and stuff like that. How much truth do you think is with that?
So you know that I grew up in a kind of witchy way.
Yeah.
I grew up
We both did.
Metaphysic groups. My mom took me to meet with metaphysics and psychics and shaman when I was a kid because I saw things. I had bad nightmares. Sometimes the nightmares I had came true. And I scared the living crap out of my mother for a large chunk of my childhood. And so she took me to these places to kind of learn and try to gain some level of control over what was happening. But that being said, when you ask me how much I think is real, I've seen things since I was little. I see entities walking down the street almost every day that aren't there. Am I schizophrenic? I don't know. I've actually talked to psychologists. I studied psychology. I hear voices. I still have dreams that come true sometimes. So I believe in a lot of things. But as I've said in this podcast many times, I'm also a skeptic because I believe that though there is real energy and there are real memories in this universe, are they ghosts or are they memories being given, fed energy, and they seem like ghosts because that's what our minds say they are. But really it's just a memory that's given some level of form. Is that why only some people can see them? Maybe they're in tune with the frequency of that energy. Or are they disembodied spirits? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But if you ask me what I believe there's a lot of things out there that we don't understand, which is why I love science and why I study psychology, because it'd be really cool if we did. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, I was just wondering.
Yeah. Anybody else?
That was really well said.
Thank you.
I got scared.
Oh, then this is going to be a fun episode for you. I would like to point out, before I continue, that this... I did ask Tacet what types of things he might be interested in for an episode, if he would do an episode with us, and he suggested hauntings and possessions and things along those lines. So this episode is literally crafted for you, specifically talking about what we're calling the other Devil's Highway, because we had an episode before this, which was the Devil's Highway.
Yep.
And it's Highway 666. Now it's a different name. But it's a highway not far from here. It's just on the other side of Shiprock, actually. Oh. Where a lot of things have happened. If you're interested in that, listen to the episode. But there is another Devil's Highway, or they call it the Devil's Trail, the Devil's Road. There is a path of old Spanish mission trails and native trails between Southern California to the southwest into Arizona and New Mexico, where a lot of stuff, and it goes along the border between Mexico and America, where there's a lot of stuff that goes on. And on either side of that border, you have people asking for exorcisms, reporting hauntings, and that stuff's been going on since, for as long as people have been in this area, which is why when Tacet said he wanted to do this, I wrote this episode. So this is for you, man. Don't get scared. I did it for you.
Well, if I get scared, that's how it's working.
It's your own fault. Yeah.
No, so I grew up with a very Irish witchy grandmother. So this is just another Saturday night around the table playing Yahtzee and talking about weird shit.
Well, it's an interesting thing because I can tell you that I've been on both sides of the concept of metaphysics and spirituality and the con artistry. I have known people, my mom took me to people who were fake. They were liars. They were con artists. They were basically, and it's really funny when you try to cold read someone, whether or not I have a higher level of intuition, whether I just read people really well, don't kid a kidder. I had people who would try to cold read me, and I'd recognize what they were doing because it's something I cold read people for years. People wanted me to be psychic. There were groups that wanted me to be psychic and believed that I was a psychic. And I wanted to do for them. I wanted to be what they needed me to be. My mom believed I was psychic. Everybody believed I had these abilities. And I wanted to be for them. I wanted to show up for them because it was so important to them spiritually that without even meaning to, in an early part of my life as a child, I instinctively started cold reading people in order to show people that I had this ability to know psychically what was going on. And I didn't even realize, I didn't know where the line was for years between the dreams and the visions and me being a bit of a con artist, because I didn't mean to be a con artist. I was using a tool that con artists use, but it was literally almost raised into me. And that's when I sort of walked away from that world. Like I've said, I think in other shows, I'm trained in 2 different levels of energy healing, therapeutic touch and Reiki. People used to pay me to go to their house and do energy healings. I walked away from that world and studied psychology because I couldn't stand that I had been lying to people. Not intentionally, but I was. I was reading people, but I wasn't using any psychic powers. I was using intuition and it's just what I could read off of them, and I fooled myself into believing that was real. And so I walked away from it, and I did something else. Because if something's not working in your life, you can always put it down, walk away, and do something else. And if you have a midlife crisis, you can start a podcast.
Or, start your own juice tavern and game shop. I'm just saying.
Life is all about new beginnings and just never giving up and just continuing on. But do I believe in this stuff? Absolutely. Do I believe that people use this stuff? Do I think that people like telling spooky stories? Do I think that some people use those spooky stories to try to steal from people or to scare people? Absolutely.
Yep.
Am I down for the reality? Do I love the idea of what's real? Absolutely. Do I love a scary story? Do I love...
Who doesn't love a good scary story?
I just don't like the con artistry. When it gets down to lying and hurting people.
Oh, Ginger doesn't.
What?
I saw
that.
You
don't like a scary story? Welcome to the podcast.
I'm getting better with scary stories.
It's so funny. You joined a crime podcast.
That's not what that's...
Okay, moving on. I love you. All right. So there was no consensus ever regarding what was happening to this lady, to Doris, and, no Hollywood ending for her. There were really no answers or any, official declaration of an illness or supernatural entities. Instead, the Doris Bither case became something far more unsettling. A mystery. The case inspired the 1982 film The Entity, carrying a local California haunting into the wider mythology of the Southwest, the land of ghost stories, legends, and modern mysteries. Whether seen through psychology, folklore, or faith, it became another thread in the region's tapestry of the unexplained. Whether Doris Bither's ordeal was trauma, misunderstood phenomena, or something unexplained, her story sits at the crossroads of faith, science, and folklore. Even now, some experiences defy answers, and for those who endure them, the search for meaning becomes its own story. Sometimes, that search leads not to doctors or priests, but places where history won't rest. Decades after Doris Bither, Southern California churches still get pleas from families convinced that something has invaded their homes. The names change, but the question remains, and it connects California, New Mexico, Arizona, and beyond with the shared memories and mysteries of these stories. So let's tell another one.
Yay!
Yes, ma'am.
When do the X-Files people come into this?
They don't. So, you're the only redhead that's going to walk in, Ginger. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Though,
guess I'll die.
Yeah. Probably not. The redhead survives because she's really popular.
Ill-equipped for this situation.
You are ill-equipped. Well, Okay, so I'll tell you a story. So I had a friend. I won't say her name. She lives here in Farmington when I was about 13. So younger than my daughter is now. Freaking me out a little bit. She began having her bed shake at night. When she was sleeping, her bed would just shake.
No, thank you.
And because I was quote-unquote psychic and blah, 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 and because we thought we could, we attempted to get this spirit to leave her home. And I saw the bed shake.
No way.
So we went, and I could feel and see, like, a mist moving around. I don't even know where the metaphysics in my world, including my mama, sorry, Mom, where they got this exorcism rite that they were using to try to get this spirit to leave. But we burned the sage, and we walked through the house, and we did the clearings, and we said the words, and at one point, something threw me up against a wall and choked me.
Good Lord.
In Farmington? No, sorry.
Oh, brother, it was maybe 5 miles from where you're sitting.
No!
So, I mean, so just so you know, welcome to Farmington. So, a lot of stuff happens here. Your lady ain't told you yet? She probably doesn't want to scare you away. But she knows. Look at her face. She knows. She's sitting here with us tonight. So.
There's too many.
Yeah, look at us. Yeah, look at her face. She knows. She's like, I wasn't going to tell him until he hung out for at least a year. No. So anyways, we did the whole thing. We chased this thing around the house. And that night, the girl who I became very close friends with called me at 3 a.m. Because it's always 3 a.m.
That's the witching hour.
The witching hour.
Absolutely.
Man.
Like, there's a lot
at
between...
3 a.m. and I answered because I had a phone in my room. I was super cool back in the 90s. And she said...
We probably have the same model.
He just woke me up. He woke me up and I said, he shook the bed. And she goes, no, he sang to me. And the song he sang was... Camptown ladies sing this song, doo-dah, doo-dah.
Jason, is this made up?
No, this is an absolute true story in my life.
Okay,
No,
so
but
we've had a lot more similar experiences in our lives than...
Yeah.
Like for reals, like...
No, this happened in my life, yeah.
So wait, is this the episode where we tell our ghost stories in detail?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, I got a ghost story.
Okay, do it.
Okay, the place where I work that I will not name because people will come looking for me. I'm the only redhead there. Tacet can see.
It's when you see your uniform.
So be really careful. Don't go restaurant to restaurant in Farmington looking for a redhead. I'm sure she'd be really hard to find in the town that's like 10 Native Americans to every one white person. Oh gosh, how...
Shut up, Jason.
I'm sorry.
Come looking for me.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I need closure really fast. What happened to the Blazing Saddles?
To the lady?
Yeah.
To the girl? She was a little older than me, and she lived in the house for a couple more years, and when she couldn't handle it anymore, she moved in with her boyfriend and got the hell out of Farmington and never came back.
Oh, if they were saying killed her or something, that would be crazy.
Did it follow her?
He
Do we
killed
know?
her.
Her family stayed, and they still heard stuff.
Oh, God.
Dang.
They still heard stuff. I mean, they would just hear, like knocks on the wall, and, the same stuff Zach Bagan would be, like, screaming at the top of his lungs how happy
Yes, I
he
do
is.
know Zach Bagelbites.
And I mean, and that's the thing. You watch those shows and things happen. I remember there was an episode of Ghost Hunters. Is that what
Ghost
it is? Yeah, Ghost
Adventures.
Hunters.
Ghost Facers. Sorry,
Ghost Facers.
That's a
It's
different
Ghost
thing.
Adventures.
Ghost Adventures, sorry. There was an episode and I remember like somebody gets scratched.
It was Zach that got scratched.
I think it was friend actually. It was one of his friends that got scratched.
I mean, there were multiple episodes
Yeah.
of scratches.
So, no, it was one of the early episodes and one of his friends gets scratched. And I remember we were watching that episode and somebody went, "Shh, lame." Like, they're like, I don't believe it. I'm like, yeah, I just kind of kept my mouth shut because I'm like, oh, if you think that's a lie, I won't tell you. I was choked by a ghost once.
Oh,
so,
dude. What the?
So anyway, back to my ghost story.
Go ahead.
Okay, the place I work at.
Is this Southwestern? Are you? Oh, that's where you work. Okay, cool. I just ate there with my wife. Did you have me come to a haunted restaurant to eat with my wife?
Jason, you've known this place is haunted. I told you.
I know. But...
Okay, so there's at least 3 things in the building. There's Blue Shirt Guy. That's the name I'm giving him because I actually saw him with my eyeballs. Then there's Void, who does spooky things around the corner. And then there's like a little girl that runs in the front area. And something knocks on the walls in the bathroom.
Oh, stuff like this happens. You start to close. I've worked in restaurants. You start to close, and the things that walk around in restaurants, as soon as you close and there's nobody but you, or like you and one other person, they start messing around.
I want to know why they attach to restaurants. But anyway.
They do, though.
No, for real. Same
Blue
here.
Shirt Guy likes to hang out in the dish area.
Energy people, lots of them.
Yeah.
Blue Shirt Guy likes to hang out in the dish area, and He once threw a dish at me like there was nobody behind the counter. I set a dish down. I turn around, and it goes flying at the alcohol cage that's across from the dish. Nobody is there. Okay,
He wanted to drink.
Yeah.
No,
When the cage was locked, he was pissed.
Listen,
Pour him a whiskey.
he must really want a drink because when I saw him, it was on the solstice, and he walked behind me in the bar when I was bartending. And then a couple days later, he broke a margarita glass in my hand and it cut my arm.
Give the man.
I didn't hit the glass on anything. It was in
I'm
the air,
gonna
like,
say
up
this.
here
I'm
like
gonna say
this.
this. And
It exploded.
I worked at a restaurant here in town. There's a bar here in town. And so that the friendly neighbor who lived in that bar wouldn't mess with stuff, we would pour a shot and we put it on the bar for him.
Well, if you tell him that you're busy and you gotta do stuff, he usually leaves you alone.
Yeah.
The only person he doesn't leave alone, I actually can't talk about that. That person may hear this. So never mind. But no, also, there have been quite a few nights where I was the last woman left in the building and I've gone to the bathroom and I hear someone talking in the women's bathroom, but nobody's in the women's bathroom with me. The door opens. Well, the door sounds like it opens. I hear knocking. So the bathroom's definitely haunted.
Well, and I would say buildings like that, restaurants have a lot of people that come in and out of them. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of memory there. There are, I have known people who believe in spirits and who believe in disembodied spirits walking the world. And I wonder sometimes if we truly believe that places have memories. And I believe that. I believe that places have memories. There's a reason why you can go to an old building and touch the wall and you can almost feel something left behind from all of the other people who've been there. That's why we go to ancient places and everybody wants to touch the walls, We feel that energy. If there are memories and if there's a lot of energy, maybe those memories sometimes can take a form that maybe in some level we can see or feel.
I've never heard of that, but that sounds really cool. And you got a drunk ass ghost. Have you seen that? Is it Ghost? What is it? I was gonna say Ghostbusters, Ghost Hunters, where they're hunting like I think it's like a burnt down restaurant too, and then they put like a shot out, and like the dude's sober, like he's been sober for 5 years. He goes, I don't know what's going on. I want to drink that. I want to drink that right now. And he takes a shot, and he's like, I want another one. And it's just like, I don't know, but yeah, that's what that reminded me of.
Actually, that's just alcoholism. Because I've been sober for 23 years, and some days after I work where we work, I want a shot too.
Cheers.
Don't be scared of where I work. You can still come to.
And when I was a kid, my mom lived in a duplex, and I used to play Magic the Gathering and a Star Trek card game. And I would sit and just sort my cards, because that's something that people who do these cards seem to do. And there was a little girl in a red dress who would sit and watch me.
No!
And she would just watch me. There's nothing weird about it. And it hadn't, I saw her a number of times, and then I didn't see her for years. Didn't think about it, nothing. And then my daughter started going to daycare in that same house, because my mom still had the house and she ran her daycare. And my daughter, one time, she went up to me and she said, Daddy, do you believe in ghosts? And I said, sure, baby, whatever. I'm not going to scare my kid. She said, I want to tell you something. I played with a little girl today, and I thought she was a new member of the new student in the daycare. And I played with her, and we were jumping and playing. And then she said she had to go. And then she was just gone. And I asked Grandma, and she said, there isn't a new girl. And I said, well, what did she look like? And she said she was a little girl in a red dress.
Oh, no way. What the? Oh, hell no.
And if you don't believe me, you can ask my 14-year-old. She'll tell you the story.
Really quick, I used to work at a car distribution, like part place. I was going to say restaurant. But,
a car restaurant.
Yeah,
Let's
car
call
restaurant.
this drive-in.
Yeah, cheers.
Finest oil in town.
I worked at a car restaurant, and they said it was built over an old preschool years from before, and the preschool had shut down because it's something typical, a tragedy happened, and no one would say why. But sometimes at close, now that I'm hearing your theory or your expansion on how places hold memories, I could vividly remember hearing like footsteps, but it was like almost like jolly, like children footsteps running in the opposite aisles of, between like transmissions and belts and stuff. But it makes me wonder, if that, that's what that was, memories of kids playing. And, it was always like, almost like jokes being played on co-staff. Like I would have a co-staff that would come in the morning and she'd be like, dude, who is throwing the doors around when no one's around? And I'm like, what? Like, or she's like, who's pushing the carts? Or I remember one time actually vividly, I was in the front counter and a bag of M&Ms flew. And I was like, dude, are you guys like stupid? Why would you do that? And I was the only one in the building.
You were the only one there?
Yeah, my boss was outside. Well, I was talking to a customer, so it's like, wow.
You weren't the only one there.
Oh, yeah, cheers. As a little kid. But, yeah, that's really interesting. I've never heard of that, so that's really cool.
And yet, here you are. You have a story, too.
Yeah.
So, believe it or not, I spent a lot of time in Arkin's Juice Tavern. Since we've been here, we've had, like, Christmas ornaments thrown from the back room to the front room. We have asked the kitchen people, like, hey, what do you think about this recipe or whatever? And like a spoon will literally just like fly out of the sink across the kitchen. So I think it's a ghost that is a cook of some sort or whatever. But like,
he does not approve, apparently.
Like we actually ask it a lot of questions and it's interesting because like I absolutely do not feel alone here when I am here by myself at 2:00 in the morning working on a leather project or, setting up for the next day's event or whatever.
That's a spooky time of day to be here alone.
Yeah. I think
I'm used to it.
A lot of things. Because a friend of mine used to work at the Cameo Theater. Do you guys?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's people who actually like sit in the theater.
Yeah, no, there was a theater here called the Cameo Theater. It's long shut down, but my buddy used to work there, and when he would close it down, there'd be nobody, there's no movie playing. We're just closing it down. We're like cleaning out the popcorn. I was there to pick him up. I was his ride every night, and we would go in, and he would look out into the theater, and there were seats that were filled, like 2 or 3 seats where somebody's sitting there. And he's like,
excuse me, sir, you gotta leave. The movie's over.
Yeah. And he's like, damn it, I have to check, because there were a lot of homeless people in that area. And so sometimes somebody would sneak in and was actually sitting there, and we'd have to kick him out. But not always. And there were definitely times where you'd be like, yeah, excuse me, sir. Movies are over for the night. We gotta shut down. And you get to the seat and there's nothing there. It was always, and there was always someone in front row, all the way on the right next to the exit. There was always someone sitting in that seat.
Yep.
Okay?
Been there.
Doesn't the Arkin's ghost respond with the lights sometimes?
Yeah, I replaced the lights. I replaced some of the lights.
He did
It was. I think
because I thought
the
Jojo
entity
said something about it one time.
Yeah. Well, you spent some time kind of working at Arkin's.
Yeah, but nothing really happened in the mornings when I was here. Or I was too sleep deprived because I did not fix my sleep schedule for working at 6 a.m.
Yep.
Don't do that.
But they used to flicker the lights. All sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Well, at least you fixed them and now they can't. Maybe.
It's still good.
This kind of proves the point of this episode is that everybody loves telling a nice ghost story. So, people haunted by the unexplained are drawn to places where history's scars never heal. Some turn to churches, others to old buildings where violence or the memory of violence might linger in the walls. In the Southwest, and in the line between the past and the present, that line can blur. And nowhere more can that line blur than the St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico. The St. James Hotel doesn't announce itself. It rises quietly from the high plains of northeastern New Mexico, waiting beneath an endless sky. Cimarron appears after miles of empty highway, mountains on the horizon, and sage-scented wind in the streets. If you come from here, you know that sometimes you can smell the sage as it, in the proper seasons, you can smell the sage coming through the wind.
Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be. I love the smell, though.
Oh, heck yeah.
The hotel isn't a museum. It feels like the Old West never left. Floors creak almost as bad as Thorne's seat. Worn smooth by generations. Faded photos of cowboys and lawmen, gamblers, they line the walls.
Sunlight filters through old windows. The air smells of old timber and leather. Silence isn't empty either. It's expectant, as if the room's watching you, holding stories that it refuses to let go. Then your eyes are drawn upwards. The ceiling still bears dozens of bullet holes. They're not props. They're scars from a time when arguments were ended by gunfire. Violence wasn't just a legend. It happened here. Some men walked away, others never left the building. Built in 1872, the St. James Hotel is a crossroads for the frontier's most notorious names. Wyatt Earp, Jesse James, Annie Oakley, and more. Cowboys, gamblers, outlaws, and lawmen all passed through, sometimes sleeping just doors apart. Violence and legend blurred together here during one of the Southwest's bloodiest eras. Local tradition says more than 24 died here. Drunken arguments, gambling, grudges. Whether every story is true hardly matters. The hotel became more than a landmark. Here, history and folklore blurred together. Of all of those hotel's rooms, room 18 stands out. Legend says the gambler T.J. Wright was shot after winning a big poker game. Mortally wounded, staggered from his room, then died at the door. Historians debate the details, but for most, the legend matters more than fact. Today, room 18 is permanently closed to guests. Visitors and staff still report odd events, echoing footsteps, doors opening on their own, the smell of cigars, voices in empty halls, the sense of being watched. Skeptics blame suggestion and the old building's quirks. Believers say it's marked by violence and can hold onto the echoes of the past. Maybe every old hotel gathers ghost stories, or maybe some places trap memories, joy, fear, even violence, long after people are gone. At the St. James, history leaks from the floorboards and the shadows. In the Southwest, folklore and history blurs, and the past never stays quiet.
You know what's so funny, Jason?
What's that?
I used to read about, haunted hotels and be like, I could never work in a haunted place. I work in a haunted place, Jason.
Well, and I am actually going to reach out. It's funny. I sent an email. I'm trying to get some information. I want to reach out to the...
Strader Hotel?
Strader Hotel. I'm going to reach out to the Strader Hotel, and I want to see if we can get them to allow us to go in and, look at some of the haunted rooms and maybe do, a live stream on it.
Heck
That's
yeah.
something I
Are
would
we
like to do.
getting ghost hunt tools?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. You know what? I'll put you in charge of that.
You think I know where to find that stuff?
I'm sure we could probably YouTube how to make these tools.
Oh, I'll bet you. Zach Bagans probably has a new Ghost Hunters kit for
He
sale.
probably does. I haven't watched Ghost Adventures in a hot minute, but he probably does.
Yeah.
You get that.
I'm going to actually say I was a fan of that show, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Still watch it,
You know.
even though I know a lot of the reactions are fake.
Yeah, well, you gotta keep the show going.
That documentary he made, though, the Demon House one, that one was spooky.
I was about to watch it, but the reviews threw me off.
It was rough.
There's an app for Zach Bagans, I think. There's an app.
Well, he's dedicated, man. At least he lives what it's his brand.
I want to go to his museum so bad in Vegas.
They're in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
I would check it out. And if he ever listens to this episode, maybe he'll punch me in the face.
Shout out Zach Bagans.
Proximity detector, REM, POD, EMF emitter, $189.90.
Yes.
I could go on.
Life.
Geiger
You know, the
count.
funny
That's
thing
just a Geiger counter. Hold on.
Wait, we would buy all this crap and it wouldn't work. We'd go on some ghost hunt and nothing would happen. And then we'd be sitting here in the tavern going off like crazy.
A spirit bell. So it's a bell on a certain box with magnets and stuff that you set out to see if a ghost will actually bing, hit the bell. $95.
Wait, no way.
EMF detector.
I want everyone to know that I just tried to spell ghost like I spell toast.
Nope.
And that was
so
wrong.
you're now a toast hunter?
I don't know if this is the actual Ghost Adventures. I think this is actual Ghost. There's a Ghost Adventures website. It says U.S. Ghost Adventures. It could not be related to the show, but if it is, he actually does have a starter kit.
There you go.
2K video camera night vision camcorder.
So if you're
$271.
I know. So if you're looking to find some ghosts or maybe stalk your ex-girlfriend. Oh, sorry.
Shout out Zach Bagans.
Now we can punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Tacet said sponsor us.
Shameless plug, Zach Bagans. I think some of that stuff you named was like, I think there was like 4 bands in there. You said REM.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. Those are the groups of letters that
Do I need ghost hunting materials if I'm losing my religion?
Cheers.
Well.
All right. Oh, the Saint of Death. So, leaving the haunted halls of the St. James, the journey that we're taking tonight will head south to places where history refuses to rest. Ghosts linger, or so we're told. But another figure stands openly at the crossroads of faith and mortality in Mexico and here in the Southwest. Santa Muerte?
Oh, no.
Santa Muerte? Somebody help me with this.
Santa Muerte. Scary.
Santa Muerte?
Santa Muerte. Scary.
Okay. Or the Saint of Death. Not a ghost or a demon. She appears in homes, at altars, in botanicals, and at candlelit shrines. She wears flowing robes, carries a scythe, and her face is the bare skull, waiting for everyone.
I'm sorry to interrupt. This one hits home really thoroughly. In California and Mexico and Central America, a lot of people practice, I guess you could say, summoning deities like that. So I've heard a lot of stuff like this all my life, and I'm pretty scared. Cheers. So you hear the shaking. That's me. But yeah.
What is she doing in their houses?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. That's perfect. I could give you a little bit of back.
Yeah.
So I, for one, as a disclosure, I do not practice Santeria. Shout out Sublime. But yeah, but that's what that is.
Do you not have
a crystal ball? Thank you.
But that's what that is, black magic. And, and to anybody who's listening, I'm not trying to offend anyone because I know some people have different perspectives on it. I, for one, that's just how I see it, respectfully. The legend is, or I guess you could say the practitioner is that if you sacrifice something of yourself to this deity, you will get your wishes in return. So
that's just
kind of scary.
That's a bad deal. That's a bad deal.
There is a historical element to this. When the Mayan culture was destroyed by Spain, and what was left of the Mayans intermixed with Spanish conquistadors, there was an intermixing of Catholicism and the spiritual beliefs of the native Mayans. But it actually gets more complicated than that, because some of the conquistadors who came to the quote-unquote New World were actually secretly Jewish, attempting to escape the hate of Jewish people in Europe.
What?
A lot of different beliefs and a lot of different structures of belief were born out of the intermixing of all of these different spiritual and magical histories, and developed into, modern, a lot of the modern, like Santeria, which is actually very deeply rooted in Catholicism, but is not a part of Catholicism because it's also deeply rooted in a lot of the older native traditions.
Wow.
Maybe you can help me with this. I'm not sure. How much Spanish do you know?
A lot. I'm very.
I'm just asking. Listen,
we don't assume here.
I'm not assuming anything. So there's a Spanish thing, and my friend taught it to me, and then I realized it's an old Irish thing, where you rub Vicks on your chest and you say something, but those words translate to like "go away, little frog" in Celtic. Yeah,
I know exactly.
What is the words I'm looking for?
Sana colita de rana.
Yeah. It means like "go away, little frog" in Celtic.
Well, in Spanish, it actually means "soothe the butt of the frog."
Oh, okay, yeah, something like that. No, for real.
You know that the Celtic race started in the Celtic culture in Europe started in Spain.
Yeah,
they ended in Ireland and Scotland. And the reason that people connect Celticism to Scotland and Ireland is because when the Romans killed
It was the last place.
everyone, those islands, because they were islands, they were harder to conquer. And those were the last bastions, the last places where the Celtic culture were able to survive the longest. So there is, when you talk about intermixing something that went from Spain to Mexico, and you connect that to being both Celtic and traditionally in a traditional Mexican, that's not as far-fetched as you would think.
That's
because
interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
you are connecting Celticism with Mexican.
But that's a span of like a couple thousand years.
Oh, yeah.
So like that's how old that tradition is. I don't know where they got the Vicks, but
Yeah, I don't think the Vicks is
I don't think the
thousands
Vicks
of
is part of
years
it.
old.
They
Medieval
probably use
Vicks.
some kind of herbs
Probably a
or
mint.
something.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
And I've never heard
Yeah.
of it, so, but I mean, I do see how.
My friend who I won't, but he's Mexican, so like we actually we figured that out together.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so like
That's sick.
yeah, like I used to work
Yeah.
with him, and just a cool dude.
There's no language barrier there.
There-
That's,
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. History.
It's almost word for word.
Yeah.
Except they get to say frog butt, and you don't.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
guys
like
keep
go
it
away, little frog, because you could like a frog in your throat. You're putting herbs on your chest and on your throat to like coax.
You're missing
Don't
that.
have a frog in your throat.
Butt.
Yeah,
Well, traditionally,
I do
in
believe Ginger
Hispanic,
just wanted to say butthole.
Ginger likes butts and she cannot lie.
traditionally for Hispanics, you usually do that. I guess you could say, not necessarily ritual. What would that be called? Like,
It's a ritual.
It's
Doesn't a lot of things can be a ritual. It
a
doesn't have to- it's
superstition,
not
a
religious.
ritual.
It may not be a religious ritual, but
Yeah.
people who
It's a saying. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
so you would do that after, specifically for like a child, if they were to like, I don't know, to run and bump their head on a table and they start crying, then
Yeah.
you just rub the wound. And that's what you would say. And then it's like, oh, magic, I feel better.
Yeah.
So I guess it's still a healing
That's
component.
cool. Yeah.
That's wow.
It's a healing property. thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and if you consider, we can even go into science and talk about placebo.
Oh.
And that if a child genuinely, or if anyone truly believes that a medicine is going to heal them, it has a better chance of being effective.
That's all
Because the body can actually do a lot to heal itself. And if you have belief, that's going to drive that.
My little sister used to do that with Tic Tacs. She thought they were magic medicine. And then when she got older and realized they weren't magic medicine, she was like, I could use these to practice swallowing pills. She's a weirdo.
Right. Well, and I think that we do that as parents all the time. That's why we kiss it and make it better. I mean, you put the medicine on. They actually do help. If you're putting some sort of mint on a child's chest, it's going to help them breathe.
Yeah.
So they have a cold. They're having trouble breathing. You do real medicine, but then you add an element to give them that belief, to give them that connection. And, science would call it a placebo, witches might call it magic.
Whoa.
But,
Whoa.
so to outsiders, the Saint of Death
Yeah.
can seem unsettling. Her skeletal form embodies the very fears of this journey. But for her devotees, she is something entirely different. Not a call for death or a fear, but a reminder that death unites us. Rich or poor, saint or sinner, no one escapes. For hundreds of thousands and up to millions of people between Mexico and the Southwest, she is hope and protection in uncertain times. People kneel before her in vulnerability, asking for strength to endure what feels impossible. Her devotion reflects in the borderlands, the unique culture between the old and the new, between Mexico, where a lot of old beliefs continue, and in the Southwest, where they also continue and intermix with this melting pot we call the United States. Indigenous ideas, Catholic tradition, migration, and hard frontier realities all played a part in expanding these beliefs. Ancient roots carried not just people, but stories. Before borders, people did. They moved freely, and they survived believing that this spirit and the shared history would protect them. And it's a major thread of the Southwest's spiritual fabric. I think of this a lot when we did our La Llorona episode, and we talked about the cultural links there and how she has gone from, there's similar legends in Ireland of the Banshee. Very similar. And you'd go all the way to La Llorona, and then we talked about the ditch witches. I think that.
And then I taught you that a ditch witch is actually a piece of equipment.
And then I told you to shut up. The point is that this spirit of death belongs in the Southwest. It's more than a story. In this land where life and death are always close, civilizations have risen and vanished. Towns appear and have faded. Travelers cross deserts, knowing that they may never return. Out here, death isn't hidden. For this saint reminds us that belief grows from the land. In the Southwest, where tragedy, faith, and survival travel together, death isn't just another chapter. As candles burn and prayers fade, we keep moving through the desert, where the memory lingers and every generation leaves a story for the wind.
Damn. Dude, like, that was my favorite one because that one hits home entirely. Like, I've grown up seeing people, like, going to somebody's house, you know, and then, why does your mom have that? Oh, don't ask, you know? It's like, or it's like, or, you know, even going to a party or something, and it's like, hey, do you guys do this? And I don't know, you know, respectfully, if that's what people do, cheers, more power to you. Me, I'm a firm believer that, you know, I don't play with sticks and stones, you know? So that was fucking cool.
I have extensively played with sticks and stones, both with witchcraft and a lot of things throughout my life. I don't do it anymore. Not so much anymore, but there were times in my life where casting a spell was every day. And honestly, it's a funny thing because for me, it's all energy. It's all where we put our energy. When I was casting a spell, it wasn't that different than a strongly believed prayer. It's not that different than just when metaphysics say that we're going to bring it into being by believing it enough. Maybe placebo. It's all energy. It's all belief. It's all how we direct it. And it's all dependent upon, you know, evil and good to me is dependent on who the practitioner is. I never meant to harm anyone.
What's the intention?
I never did.
Yeah.
You know, the magic that I practiced never hurt anyone, except me.
Damn. I was about to say.
That's called blood magic, and that is bad.
It wasn't blood magic.
Just joking.
It was stupid Jason doing stupid things.
No, like I completely understand.
There was a time
Jason.
in my life where I was able to access just enough information to be stupid, and just stupid enough to try things I shouldn't do. So
I have a friend who did that.
Yeah. You do. He's sitting right here.
Well, I have a coworker who likes to make deals with beings.
The devil?
Dude, I like that restaurant, man. Don't tell me that. Why my food extra spicy today, man? No.
Devil spice.
No, she's about to move to a different place, so.
Alright, hopefully it's somewhere I don't like.
Somewhere you don't eat.
Yeah. Denny's.
Move.
Wow, that was
go
really
work
cool.
at Denny's. Stop doing dark magic here.
Well, now you know where I don't work.
Yeah, no, she does not work at Denny's.
So there's
One restaurant down in the location. All right, so the Devil's Highway. We're going to talk about that a little bit. The Devil's Highway shows that nature itself can be terrifying, leaving behind roadside shrines. The journey heads west into the hardest corners of North America. Here, stories escape old hotels and churches, and the land itself speaks. Mountains, dry washes, endless sun scorching the earth, silent witnesses to centuries of suffering and survival. Far west of Tucson, the Sonoran Desert hides a route known as El Camino del Diablo, the Devil's Highway. The name was a warning, not poetry. Travelers knew this place could take everything. Explorers searched for water. Missionaries prayed for survival. Soldiers vanished. Prospectors found only thirst. Even now, migrants die each year. Proof
that the desert and the Devil's Highway has surrendered little of its power.
I have a minor interruption. Remember how I mentioned Pippins and Pebbles, the hummingbird babies?
Yeah.
They're getting pretty ready to fly away. They're huge.
Okay.
Should we post a picture of them?
They don't look anything like ball sacks anymore.
I know, that's what I said. Before they looked like a couple of balls, and now they're like whole birds.
Nice.
How the fuck did that happen?
And Pixie's back, folks.
Those who know the desert understand how quickly perception can shift. Search and rescue teams can spend hours searching for people who underestimated the heat.
Speaking of search and rescue teams, one time a search and rescue team came after me. What?
And you were never found?
Oh, girl, I know
This is-
exactly what you were
trip?
talking about. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you're talking about then.
We went on a canoe trip for Mother's Day one year, so my mother had a day of peace without us in the house. So my dad was like, okay, a bunch of dudes from church and their children, let's all go on this river.
That sounds like the beginning of a horror story, too.
It was terrible. The website said the river was fine, for the record. I was placed in a canoe with the only other child from church my age. We were both about 13 at the time. Neither of us weighed very much. And the canoe I was in flipped 4 times. My dad was the only one who made it all the way down the river without flipping. And so then he had to call search and rescue. I had to walk a mile barefoot to get out of there. Because we lost our canoe.
So that's what happened to you.
Yeah.
Dang.
I made it home.
Since we all got a chance to tell fun ghost stories while I was dying, how about I dish out mine?
Yeah.
It's the same one that I told you before we started this podcast.
Spooky ass story.
Okay.
Is this the one where the ghost followed you home and in your ditch?
Oh, God.
In my ditch?
No.
Or outside?
But,
I don't remember.
he's
Outside
talking about
the
screen
window?
In the...
Oh. Okay, so,
This one time at band camp.
Hey, this one time I actually went to band camp.
So did I!
Okay.
It's
this
not
one
as fun
time
as you
at
think
band
it is.
camp- Just kidding. No.
Prepare yourself, this story is really spooky.
No, but if you do want to know about this, one time at band camp, I tripped and deep-throated my saxophone.
I'm gonna say, tell me that one
That was
in
scary.
Arkansas After Dark. Let's get back to the ghost.
That's how I almost died, you guys.
Patreon.
I go prepare yourself, this story's gonna be spooky. I keep doing it, take the bit.
Watch Pixie
Okay.
deep throat up in.
Patreon.
Finish. So, I was hanging out at my best friend's house. You know my best friend. It's
Me.
not like it's...
Me.
No, it's not you.
Oh.
It's not like they're part of this podcast or anything, but I was hanging out at my best friend's house, and I was over there until, like, past midnight. It was close to, like, 2 o'clock. And so I get in my car to drive home, and I was driving down Aztec Main Street, and, this, like, I don't even want to say it was a person, because it wasn't. It was just, like, a living shadow, kind of, just, like, appeared kind of in front of my car and started waving his arms up in the air, like, trying to get my attention. And so, like, I freak out, so I go into the other lane to, like, go around, and he's following my car. And I feel like I could see this guy in my rearview mirror following my car for, to me, it felt like all the way back to Bloomfield, and then I couldn't see him anymore.
So like 9 miles.
Yeah, like a long-ass way to be following me. I could just see him. And then when I got home, this is the part that really freaks me out, because I am so scared of the dark. I get out of my car and I could feel something like compelling me to stay outside. When I saw this person in the road, after I went around him, I felt something compelling me to get out of my car and like go find this person. And then I was like, no, that's really stupid. So I get back to my house and I feel this compulsion to like stay outside. Like something's like drawing me to stay outside. So I get out of my car and I like sit down in my gravel. I don't know how long I was there for, but it felt like a long time. And I finally like realized what was going on. I'm like, oh shit, like I need to get in the house. This is not normal behavior for me. So I get in the house and my dog is like freaking the fuck out. And that whole night I kept, my dog was freaking out and I kept having reoccurring nightmares that something was coming to get me. And I couldn't sleep. I get sleep paralysis for context, but this was like a little bit different than normal because I would like halfway wake up and there would just be a tall figure with red eyes just standing over me, and I felt like I was going to die. And that happened quite a few times, and my whole family is Mormon, so I got a lot of, like, Mormon blessings done. I feel like that didn't do a lot for me. I don't know, man.
It's like, I think a lot of times with things like that, the magic doesn't work if you don't believe in it. So people can give you blessings, and if they believe, but if energy has to be believed, you would have to be there too.
So I always lock my door when I come home.
Oh my god, that's
every time
even
I
worse.
close my door, it auto locks after a couple of seconds. And I took a nap, and I woke up because I was really cold, and my door was just wide open.
And your dog was freaking out.
And my dog was freaking out, and I didn't open that door.
Wasn't there like a weird sound outside too?
There's always weird sounds
Yeah,
outside
but wasn't
of my
there
house.
an extra, like, wasn't
Well,
there
you kind of live
outside?
out there a little bit. People who have sleep paralysis often report waking up and there's someone standing at their door,
Mm-hmm.
often with glowing red eyes, a black figure.
But something chasing me home. I mean, that being the lead up to it.
Well, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that that's not unheard of.
Also,
Yeah.
they didn't remember this happened until a few days later.
Oh yeah, genuinely. Like it had been a few days.
So you
and I was
forgot
kinda
when
like,
it actually happened.
Yeah.
And a few days later you went, oh crap, this thing happened.
Yeah,
I've actually had that happen to me.
yeah.
With some things when I was young.
But, like, I don't know, man. It just... And I mean, for months, I just felt like something was, like, attached to me.
Oh.
And finally, when I, like,
Is
stopped...
that what you were talking about when we first met?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, for months. And I was trying everything, man. My mom bought me,
Did the stuff I help at all?
Yes.
Okay.
My mom bought me, like, a ghost beads bracelet, and, like, that did help to a degree. And then, I don't know, it just...
We talked about, and I'll just kind of reiterate
Go
what we
ahead.
talked about. So that was when I first met you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so weird how these things happen, how people interact, because this is how you and I connected long before we thought about doing a podcast together. I believe Ginger knew me through Thorne and other people, and somebody kind of said something which he was happening with you, and they said, hey, go talk to Jason. He's that guy. He's the guy to talk to. For whatever reason. I don't know. I don't think it was you that said that, but somebody said, go talk to Jason. Well, she didn't know me at that point. So somebody told her.
I can't
As well.
remember who it was.
Somebody told you guys. I don't even remember who it was. but
It
she
might
told
have
me-
been me.
Might have been.
Might have been.
I don't know that you even knew all that stuff at that point.
No, you and I actually talked about it a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, basically, what I told was that, whatever it was, I am a believer of energy. If you want to talk about quantum theory and all things, no matter, all things that have ever existed, they basically go down to, if you get past the subatomic level, everything is energy. And that if something is attached to you, or if you feel like something's following you, it's a matter of will. And that you can control what you allow to be connected to you, because your energy belongs to you. And so there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can do clearings. You need to do something that matters to you, something that's real for you, to disconnect that energy from yourself. That's how you can push it away. And you have to believe that nothing has power over you, that nothing can decide that it has power and it's attached to you and you don't have a choice. The two reasons for that is, if you believe that something has power over you, how do you get rid of it? Nothing has power over you. We have free will. This is my body. I have the choice for what happens to it. It's about will. It's about intent. To an extent, that's kind of how I see magic. Real magic.
Damn.
To me, real magic is about directing intent,
Mm-hmm.
directing your own personal energy. And you will see real things happen. That's magic to me. And that's how you connect it. It's how you touch it.
So this is your boss outside of work.
Sorry, please do not bring this stuff to our job.
Well,
Done some cold ass shit.
and I'm a lot like
I'm
you
part of
are, where I've seen ghosts and stuff like that my whole life, and it's kind of just been like a normal thing. Like people who have recently passed away in my family,
Where do you think I got
You
that?
know?
Where do you think I got the, if you don't want something to attach itself to you?
exactly.
I was a child the first time I willed something to stop bothering, to leave me alone, to stop entering my dreams, to stop screaming outside my window. I was 13 when I finally made it go away.
Yeah.
And that was about will and intent and energy. I learned things through metaphysics. I learned things through a friend of mine who became a medicine man.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
learned a lot of things from a lot of different people, but what I learned is in almost all magic, in almost all belief, if you come from a point of good and love and compassion, and you're clear and you're direct and you believe, you can overcome that energy, that fear, that darkness, and you can push it away.
And it's crazy to me that you say that, because what finally got all of this to stop was I got back into my beliefs. I'm not a Mormon anymore. Won't go that far again. But I still am a Christian, and I very much believe in that. And I feel like the thing that finally eventually made that all go away is I have been taught ever since I was a young child that if something is scaring you, you tell it in the name of Christ, I command you to leave. And finally, that's what I did, and I haven't seen the thing since. So.
And if Christ is a spirit of love,
Mm-hmm. Which is what I've been taught.
We believe that Christ's teachings are about bettering us, that following and living a Christ-like life is about service to others and care about others, and that will give us protection from darkness and make us better people. If we believe it, it's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Luckily, you also have the energy of a lot of other people in the world who also believe that. Maybe a little bit of universal consciousness or group magic.
Well, that's my story, but...
Well, and I'm gonna come back to the episode, but just a little bit. Because what I was getting at with the Devil's Highway, these pathways that go from Southern California all the way into Texas, they go through really harsh desert. They go through hard places. People have died. As I was saying, people have died of thirst. They've died of exposure. It's under endless skies. When we talk about, like in Utah, the dark skies, but here when you talk about the desert in New Mexico, it's the endless sky. It's that clear blue nothing. Sometimes you don't even see a cloud some days for miles. There are a lot of heartbreaking stories. People abandoning shoes or supplies, robbed of reason, living in exhaustion, things they see, the things they experience all along these paths. And we don't live that far from them, folks. We really don't. I mean, we're in the same state as part of that path. We're just on the northern side. But trust me, we got plenty of strange right here. Maybe that's why many legends begin here. In this landscape where the human mind struggles to distinguish hope from illusion and memory from imagination. Every unexplained experience feels amplified by everything surrounding it. Not every haunting comes from abandoned buildings or restless spirits. Sometimes the most powerful presence is the land, our own fear, and whether a presence is there, if it's understood, if it's spiritual, psychological, or simply overwhelming force, nature itself. Every traveler must ultimately decide on their own what they saw. Nature abhors a void. We create a mystery. We create legend. So, this last part is about modern exorcists and enduring shadows.
Here we go.
Tacet's,
We should have him here more often. He's fun.
yeah, no, he's fun. He's fun.
Scared, man. I was fired up.
Want to do some more ghost stories with us in the future?
I'll be back.
Heck
I'll
yeah.
bring my pull-ups. All right, cheers. Run it, please. I'm scared.
Modern exorcism cases prove a lot about the stories that never end. From Arizona's lonely highways to California's quiet churches, people still chase answers of the unexplainable. The church always has struggled with concepts of evil and haunted places. All of this deepens within the Southwest's ancient sense of memory and tragedy and mystery. I didn't bring La Llorona into this episode, but I'm going to bring her up now because we talked in that episode about how she's not a cryptid. She's a part of Hispanic culture representing the tragedy of mothers losing children, which is why the spirit of La Llorona is always searching for children. Why she's weeping. Our journey is going to loop us back to a central question. Why is the Southwest always linked to all of this
energy, these ghosts, death, the unexplained. All the stories, the legends, the desperate prayers building towards a single truth. The shadows do not stop at Arizona's border. In southwestern California, dioceses like Los Angeles and San Diego quietly train priests to investigate reports of possession. Their work will often delve into psychological disorders, trauma, substance abuse, and other medical explanations that are carefully considered before any religious rites are approved. Can't just ask for an exorcism. They have to investigate. You have to see a psychologist. They have to make sure that this isn't a human thing, humans having a regular human experience before they'll bring in the supernatural. But still, requests keep coming. Families believe their homes have been changed. People describe terrifying experiences. People change overnight and seek hope after exhausting all of those options. Whether these experiences are understood through psychology, medicine, faith, all three, I've said in this podcast before, that's why I studied psychology. The science matters as much as the spirituality, and the truth is always somewhere in the middle.
I would like to propose a theory on why the Southwest is more haunted and Appalachia has more cryptids.
Okay.
Animals. Animals love forests and green things and stuff like that. What if the spirits are more about the desert, more about, because it's already dead. It's alive, but there's less life than there would be back east at the Mississippi River.
So the energy, you're thinking the animals pulling the energy away and all of the life created by animals and by the forest, whereas the desert is a good place for the dead. Interesting.
Wow.
That's my, that was
I think if we were to go to England and Europe and the United Kingdom and even down to Germany where the Gauls lived, I think we'd find a lot of haunting.
No, I agree. No, I agree. I don't think that there's like any.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing the theory.
You know what's crazy? I was just thinking that the other day because a lot of Mexican folklore I've heard growing up from family and friends and, you know, since Hispanic culture in Central America, you hear like really weird stuff. Like they got trolls and they got all these other entities and stuff like that. And then as of lately, you know, being here in the quote unquote land of enchantment, I was like, why do I hear some of these same stories here? And, you know, you're not going to hear that like in LA or something about trolls.
You want to talk about trolls? Let's talk about Norway. Let's talk about Greenland. Let's talk about...
There are people who still believe in the bee people.
Yeah.
Well, my point is
yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. My point is that I was just like, is it, you know, everyone's got a scary Mexico story. And I was like, is it because it's New Mexico? Like, but it's similar to what you're saying, you know, it's desolate here. And is that enough room for entities to live? So I really respect that theory. That was cool.
Thank you.
I'll let you...
I was going to build upon that whole desolate thing that you just said. I mean, you know, when you're away from so much, like they talk about, you know, if a person is alone for a long time, they start seeing things, you know, they start to go crazy. Maybe it's the, you know, the lack of things being here.
Exhaustion,
there's not,
exposure.
yeah. I mean, it is desolate here. Genuinely. There's not, you know, a whole lot of people in New Mexico. Like, I'm just saying, man.
I tell people I grew up in the desert, and they're like, "Oh, but that's not
always,
like the Arizona desert."
And
I'm
it's
like,
always when
it is exactly like the Arizona desert.
You're right. It is a different kind of desert. It's high desert. But if you don't believe I live in the desert, I'm going to drop you off somewhere outside of Shiprock, Shiprock the town, and tell you to walk straight towards Shiprock, the actual mountain.
Oh God!
And if you don't feel like you're in a desert, you come back and let me know. But I want to say, I have a theory to kind of expand on you guys. My theory is a little different. It's more about psychology. I taught New Mexico history for a year, and because I didn't want to teach about westward expansion, and I didn't want to teach about how white people came here and changed the world. I've heard that story. Heard that story when I took New Mexico history as a kid. Westward expansion and railroads and all of that. So what I did was I looked at the conquistadors. I also learned about all of the African-American slaves that were brought with the conquistadors that ended up also intermixing with the Mayans. And so you have African traditions, Jewish traditions, Catholic traditions, and then what happened? They killed everybody. Everybody that didn't convert, everyone they couldn't control, they wiped out like 5 cultures. And then they went north and they wiped out more. And then they came into what is now the United States, but they took over Santa Fe, the oldest settlement of the Pueblo, and they took it over and they killed Pueblo natives and they killed Apache and and it didn't get less violent because then after everything settled and Mexico had control over all of this and a couple generations went by, westward expansion came. And basically declared the Mexican people natives that needed to be removed so that we could go from sea to shining sea. And the European and French settlers killed the Mexican people that had settled after they conquered it. We reconquered it. And a lot of other people died. And that's not even near the end. A lot of darkness happened right here.
So, to expand on Tacet's, like trolls and stuff like that. Sorry.
We're still
all the stuff I just said about history, and we're
Man,
back
I
to
was
trolls.
just going to talk
Yeah,
about
no,
Manifest
because like
Destiny, but
this
okay.
isn't a history podcast. This is about like supernatural and murder
Talk
and
about history.
I might try to slip a little history in.
yeah, get out of here,
my
you
question
teacher.
was at least about history. I was just going to say.
Okay, you
was
go
that-
ahead. You go ahead then.
What's
That
the
was the
expansion?
Manifest Destiny
Yeah.
stuff that they were talking about, right? That God told them that this was their
Yep.
land that they were taking over.
Well, it was interesting because white people came from Spain,
yeah.
took it over, and then I guess made the mistake of becoming brown over a few generations. And that gave the French and English settlers justification to reconquer it. And it's so funny because they were defeating the Mexican people who were descendants of other Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just goes to show it had nothing to do with anything but power, control,
Yeah, exactly.
money.
Exactly.
You know, it's corruption, it's racism
Exactly.
used as a justification for murder and control.
So back to cryptids.
Back to trolls.
Back to trolls. No, I don't think that there's any part of the world that doesn't have its own cryptid or cryptids. They're all the same cryptids. If you go, like, there's a European dragon, the Chinese dragon, Quetzalcoatl was apparently a giant, Aztec, serpent-like creature. But I mean, like, look at Bigfoot everywhere.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, everywhere has their own
Sasquatch.
Bigfoot.
Actually, there's a picture at the, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Hobby Lobby, there is like a framed painting of Sasquatch in a business suit. And he actually reminds me of you a little bit. And I didn't want to get it for you.
I used to hang out with a cryptozoologist that actually died a couple years ago, unfortunately. But
Killed by Bigfoot.
No, killed by his liver.
Oh, God.
But we
Did she
did.
have big feet? I'm just asking.
I've seen some stuff.
Asking for a friend.
Yes. No, I actually used to go hunting with this guy.
Oh.
I've seen some stuff.
Oh, God.
This is part of my life that I don't normally tell people because people just think I'm crazy.
You've got me as a friend. So.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, I
in
know.
this room?
When I was a kid, I also saw entities and ghosts, and the going back to the desert being more spiritual, I don't think it's necessarily I think it might be more of a population thing.
There's more
due
space for the ghosts to live?
There's more space for the demons to come get you one by one.
Bro!
If you're going to put it that way.
So it was like a movie. Bro, I got scared. Right
What is that, Blair Witch Project?
No.
Sure, but that's Appalachia type style movies, which it's very like being from back south, like you hear things about like swamp witches off of the Mississippi. You hear
Rowing.
that
Keep rowing.
Yeah.
Still hear banjos.
I still hear banjos. Keep rowing, but no, like they're everywhere. And I would actually like to
Banjos?
propose that we start a deep dive on some cryptids.
Hey, I think you guys, you know what? As a person who loves writing scripts, I leave it to you. I'm not a big cryptid guy. I think they're interesting. I'll be honest with you. My skepticism with cryptids is at about a 9 out of 10. I'm not saying they don't exist. New things are found. As a matter of fact, they just found a new type of monkey with like a different colored lips that like, I read about that today. We do find new species, so I'm not saying cryptids don't exist, but it's just not my thing.
No, I understand.
For everyone listening, including myself, cryptid is like a...
Cryptids are creatures that have never been
proven,
discovered or proven to exist, but many people believe in them.
Like the Loch Ness Monster.
Shout out Jersey Devil.
The Thunderbird.
Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil, absolutely.
Thorns love life.
You know, I met Mothman. He's a great kisser.
Damn.
I'm joking. Thorn's totally married, and she's a lovely lady.
I'm going to let her know you say. She listens to the podcast.
She's
She's going to get you.
Oh, I'm getting slapped.
We love Lauren's wife. Don't listen to anything Jason says.
Shout out mermaids.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
The sirens.
Sirens, banshees.
What's that one called that you like? The fish guy that slides down the hill?
But
I don't remember, but I really like him. He's got like a little hook tail, and he like hooks his tail in the mountain and slides down and eats everything.
I know. He's actually from New Mexico.
Yeah, I know. He's my favorite.
Or Colorado, I believe. He's in Colorado.
But everything's connected. The Irish have the leprechauns. The native, the Dene have the little people. Like it's all the same.
I just learned about this, guys.
Yeah.
I'll kick the shit out of a little guy.
Whack!
I had to fire myself up.
The people here at the Arkansas Hearth do not support the beating the shit of any little people, including the Pixie.
Damn
No,
it,
that's
I knew where that was
agreed.
going.
But
Right
still.
before I left the house, I was literally telling my girlfriend, like, dude, if I ever saw one of those trolls, like, I would just capture him and, like, dude, snuff film him and show his buddies, like, don't.
Dang.
I just fire myself up. I'm
not gonna get into what happens in a snuff film.
No.
I might want to look that up before
Not
you
that
agree
crazy.
to do that with a cryptid. So,
Please carry on, please. I just have to fire myself up. I can't be scared. Like you said, you can't give these stuff
can't give it energy, man.
Yeah, so
well,
cheers.
and the whole point a lot of times of talking about these things is to get them out of, if you have something that you fear, I always say, this is what I say to my daughter. If you're afraid of something, write it down. Take it out of your heart and put it on a page. Maybe you'll write an amazing story and you'll be the next Stephen King. Maybe it'll just be something that you let go of. But don't let that dark energy sit inside of you, giving you fear. Put it away. Put it somewhere where it can't hurt you.
Up your ass. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Snuff film.
That's a different type of film, but we were.
Pixie, in a minute, I'm going to beat me a little person. I'm close. Somebody slap Pixie. It actually sounds like we slap you every time we do it. Okay, so.
I'm passed out again.
Yes, we can talk about all of the things that may or may not exist, from cryptids to ghosts, ufology.
Jason.
I was just trying to get it right.
Such a fuck up with
Okay.
this shit.
Hey, I like UFOs.
Oh my god.
So,
There it is.
a lot of concepts do remain. Things that, whether you believe in these things or not, the loneliness, the loss, the faith, the fear, and sometimes the hope that comes from these things, it's real. In the Southwest, civilizations have risen and fallen. And risen and fallen.
Fault?
Man, I hate it when my shit falls.
Oh crap! I fell down.
You know what? That's just aging, bitch.
Did you fly?
I sure
No.
did.
All right. In the Southwest, okay, I will slap me a ginger.
God, I want this ramen.
That's a fucking crazy statement.
After I beat me a little person. Shut up.
That's a crazy.
Wait, did you say after you pee a little person? What?
I said beat me
Oh,
a
okay.
little person.
I'm sorry.
He's crying.
Okay.
Welcome to the podcast, Tacet.
So, civilizations rise and fall, but each generation leaves new stories. Whether those stories are of ghosts, possessions, miracles, misunderstandings, cryptids, or something even stranger like Pixie.
I'm not That's strange. I just remembered something funny.
And that. But all that becomes secondary. Because the stories themselves are part of the landscape, part of the culture, part of what we grow up on. I mean, does anybody here really want to live in a world without stories? How boring would that be? So next time you're driving on an empty desert highway after midnight, surrounded by just the darkness, the mountains, the endless roads, maybe roll down your window. Listen carefully. What comes on the wind? Does it carry prayers? Do you hear screams? Hear forgotten names? The desert remembers. Every story, haunting prayer, loss, desperate hope, is woven into the land itself. Out here, memory never really fades. And in the shadows, the darkness, the past walks behind us. In the end, the Southwest is a place where the search for meaning and comfort and forgiveness will always be intertwined with the ghosts we can't leave behind. It remembers us, so we should remember it. Thank you from the Arkan's heart.
That was
Guess it's
really
ready for
cool.
bed.
I was scared. That was really cool.
Are you
All
gonna
right.
have nightmares?
You know I'm gonna try not to.
Okay.
Well,
I tried real
we
hard.
really appreciate you coming, and you would
Heck yeah.
be welcome to come for another episode sometime.
Yeah,
if you'd like to.
absolutely.
Hey, anytime you
Definitely.
guys got a Spanish stuff, dude, let me know.
Bet.
You know
Dude,
what? And actually, I would
Yes.
love that. Since you do come from a strong Hispanic background, as you can see, looking here among us, we are
A little pale.
pale as the ghosts that
'cause
we
she's
speak
white.
of. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, we do, and I've actually wanted, my wife has a friend who is a Native American comedian who I'm wanting to have on an episode to talk about Native American legends.
Is this on air?
Yeah, this
Yes.
is still on.
Okay, cheers.
The idea of having people come who have actually grown up in those cultures and have personal experiences, I love that idea because we can't represent it the way that a person who grew up in a Hispanic culture can. I mean, we did the La Llorona and we tried to truly honor and respect that as a Hispanic legend.
Yeah. I grew up on cryptids. That's my new terminology, cryptids. That's
Nice.
fucking-
Yeah.
I grew up on a lot of cryptids and so many stories passed down about magic.
Yep.
I actually kind of have a sentimental, I guess you could say, attachment to a certain cryptid story that I grew up hearing that I made a whole album, a spiritual album about it. It's called El Cadejo.
Yo, no way! I did a whole, the Cadejos, I did a whole, sorry, I'm like so excited. I did a
She did a
whole
project.
presentation project on the Cadejos
On the
in
dogs.
high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally did a whole project on them and then I made them in ceramics class.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's my,
We
that's
also
my
talked
blood.
about
That's my
the
fucking ground.
the weird wolves, the like blinking wolves and stuff from the Skinwalker Ranch legends.
The flesh pedestrians.
Yuck.
Skinwalker
Yuck.
Ranch. I do,
The
and we talked about it in the episode.
pedestrians.
And we're not talking about the Native American legend.
Oh.
We're talking about the actual ranch called Skinwalker Ranch in Utah.
Oh, yeah.
But where they have like blinking wolves and stuff. There's some stuff there. Maybe we could do an episode on. You have a presentation. We could probably.
I don't
turn
have
that.
it anymore.
You
I
can
could
figure it
remember,
out.
I could remake it because
What I'm saying is, why don't we put that together?
it's something I'm very passionate
And why
about.
don't we look at that as a script and bring Tacet back?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Straight up.
Cadeos?
Cadejos.
Cadejos. Yeah.
Cadejos.
It's a dog. Well, just to reframe really quick, it's a cryptid about either a good dog or
Yeah.
demonic dog.
It's so cool.
And they usually accompany you during a time of dire need to either deceive you or to help
And
you.
if you give them peanut butter, they lick your face.
A little bit like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
cheers.
See, but this is what we were talking about because in the Skinwalker Ranch one, there was a giant black wolf that would come over there and exactly like
Oh,
you
wow.
said was trying to deceive them.
Yeah.
It was being all friendly and stuff, and then as soon as it saw their livestock,
Yeah.
dude, it like
I remember
killed
this
all their
part, but yeah.
livestock.
I don't remember this
You
part
don't
of it.
remember that? Okay, so
No, we
if
didn't-
you
we didn't
actually
talk about that, but no.
Wait, we didn't want.
Well, I think that we talked a little bit about them, you recognizing
the idea of the big wolf, and they shoot at it, and it seems to ignore gunfire, and that reminded you.
You didn't remember that part? I swear, they talk about it in the documentary that at first they were like petting it, and it was like being nice with them and stuff, and then it saw a cow like a baby cow
they're talking
that
about
got curious, like poked its head.
This wasn't in the episode.
This wasn't in our episode.
No, this wasn't in our episode.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the clarification. I'm like,
but
did I have a stroke?
I'm wondering if you had heard of this though, because they said like a calf like poked its head through the fence and it grabbed the calf by the head and ripped it through the fence.
I'll be honest with you, I read so much true crime and psychology and mysticism. I just don't really read stuff on cryptids. That's not my world. So I love that it's other people's. You know,
Let's do it, guys.
It's like the biggest thing about Skinwalker Ranch that captivated me.
That's
Yeah, no,
interesting.
do it.
I didn't know. I didn't know there were
Crazy
stories
shit
like that on U.S. soil.
Yeah, you should know.
Yeah. Well, there is here. I mean, New Mexico has stories from everywhere, man. That's just the way New Mexico is. And all of those stories really intrude in a lot of ways on the Pueblo and Apache and Ute and Navajo legends, which actually belong here. Well, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thanks to RSS for being our podcast host. We release all of our stuff off of the platform RSS. If you're ever interested in starting a podcast, check them out. They are amazing.
We're on YouTube now.
We are on YouTube now, so look us up. There's another place to listen to the Arkansas Hearth.
YouTube, the
And,
TikToks.
Join our Patreon.
Yep, join, and that's the other thing. Join our Patreon. We do have just the $3 tier, but we will be recording the final Jack the Ripper and getting that out, and then we will be beginning to record our Patreon-only episodes, starting again with John Wayne Gacy. And those will be at the $5 tier. You can pay $5 and listen to what we call the super cases, and man, we've got a huge long list of those.
Are we still calling it Arkans After Dark?
Yeah. That's what I was
Well,
gonna
Arkans
ask.
After Dark is actually going to be another thing.
A whole
That's
different-
going to be,
okay.
we're going to talk about, that's something we want to launch. Woo, we got so much we're trying to do.
Oh, man.
So Arkans After Dark.
Plus the live show that's coming up.
We're going to do live shows. Those are going to come up. Those are going to get released probably on YouTube and Patreon. And then, we want to do Arkans After Dark, which is going to be like updates and local stories and
Us shooting the
news.
shit.
Yeah, that's actually just going to be my co-host. It's not going to be me. So that sometimes I shut the fuck up. It's hard to get. It's hard to happen. But no, that's going to just be my beautiful co-hosts. That's their world. No, we've got a lot going on and I'm really looking forward to it. But right now, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who listens. Look at our Patreon, and I want to thank Tacet,
Cheers, thank
the
you guys.
Godzilla of our show.
Thank you, Mr. Tacet.
Thank you. No,
For coming in and joining us, and I will definitely invite him back once
Oh,
they
yeah,
get
thank
an
you,
episode
guys.
about the
Heck yeah.
Cadeos. Once we get that going, let's do this. And the cool thing is you'll see an episode where I don't read the script. It'll be whoever writes the script reads the script.
Oh,
And
nice.
he's the head host that night.
Oh, cool.
So, look at that. Then, as you can see, I write a lot of scripts, which is why it's usually me. But I'm also a jerk because I can write a script in about 3 hours. And if I've got the research takes me longer than the writing. So, but no, we really appreciate you coming again, man.
Thank you guys for having me. Arkansas Heart. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Ginge. Thanks, Thorn. Thanks, Pixie. That was really cool. I didn't know Pixie was down with the Central American folklore like that, man.
Yeah,
I
I
think
appreciate
it's
it.
fascinating.
Awesome. Thank you guys again. I was really spooked. Thank you guys for letting me
Nice.
talk. Go check out my album, El Calejo, if you want to get kind of scared. It's cool.
They're so cool.
It's a sentimental value album. Thank you so much, Jason. Happy
I think
birthday.
that's awesome. We'll
Hey,
have to
happy
link
birthday,
the
Jason.
album. We'll have to link the album
Yeah.
to the episode somehow.
Yeah,
so that
check-
people listen to the episode, listen to the album,
Google it.
oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you
man.
could Google it. You'll see the artwork. It's a
I love the idea of doing an
That's so
episode.
cool.
And I also have another suggestion. I think this is for Thorn. And by the way, thank you everybody for your birthday wishes.
Cheers.
I'm 48 today, folks. I will say this. I think we should have a Tacet drink here at Arkansas.
Oh,
You know, I'll talk to JoJo about that.
Well, I think that one of these days you
Heck
should
yeah.
come back with me.
Yeah, please.
And I will buy you a drink, whatever you want. We'll figure out what you like, and we'll create a Tacet drink.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I mean,
And
like,
people can come down here and try your favorite.
you come in here during the mornings anyway to grab your coffee and to bitch about.
He's working. I'm the only one who can. I can get away sometimes to grab a coffee, but he's with individuals.
Every day.
That's a lie.
I'm joking.
That's a dirty lie.
I'm just trying to get you in trouble with your boss.
Some time to come in and get
I
coffee every
respect
day.
it. Hell yeah, I respect it.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, that'd be cool. Let me know, please. I appreciate it. Everybody who's tapping in, I just shared you guys on Instagram too.
Sweet.
I just had a homie send me a screenshot. He's listening to the interview right now, and he's like, "This is actually really fucking cool."
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, so I hope you guys, everyone comes and checks you guys out.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Come to the Arkins Tavern. Yeah, check these
Meet
guys
us.
out.
Yeah.
You guys are going
Heck
fucking
yeah.
crazy. So if you want to get scared and you want to have a good time, please come check these guys out.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah, thank
Hey,
you guys.
everyone.
Okay.
Okay, good night. Love you. Bye.
Good night, everybody.